right away put some context why green guidance and why a new approach to career counseling. So going back to 2019, I attended one of the sessions at IC3 Festival, Ambika with her panel. And she was bringing in that awareness that as career counselors, we also need to think about SDGs, that's Sustainable Development Goals, and how can we integrate that into our career counseling practices. However, after that session, it just kept on lingering that can we have some pragmatic ways that immediately after the session, we all as career counselors can go back and immediately implement, because SDGs are pretty vague. It's huge, and we don't know where to start from. So from that thought, it's 2022, and we're again here with Ambika and Ramya, and we really tried to think a lot of different ways what we can give you, like a quick start immediately when you leave the session. So let's begin with this session. I'm Khushbu Bedi, heading the Career Cell for Sanskar Valley School. We have Ambika from DPS RK Puram and Ramya from Manthan International. All right, so one quick thing. Let's get active, guys. Just a hand raise, okay? What is it that you can associate SDG with? Any word, anything that comes to you. Sustainability, okay, that's there in the word, okay. Anything else? Recycling. Come on, this table. Inclusion, yes. Yes? Sorry? Education and health, perfect. Green environment. Okay, gender equality, yes. Anything from that table? Yes, ma'am. Environment, yes, yes. Way of living, well-being, yes. Nurturing emotions, emotional well-being. Yes, so pretty much if we see, SDGs basically are spread out into 17 colorful boxes right here. And these are the 17 SDGs set by United Nations for all of us to take care of, to make this world a better place to live in by 2030. So let's discuss why SDG. Why do we really need to care about it? So here is this beautiful umbrella statement. There are 17 goals, 169 tasks, 193 countries, and just one outcome. And that is a greener, beautiful, happy planet Earth. And we as prosperous, peaceful, happy humanity dwelling on this earth. This is all that we want to achieve. And we all can contribute in our own ways. We just need to change the narrative. We need to change the way we are acting and behaving in our everyday life. So why do we care for it now? So the point is that we need to align ourselves as an individual and as an educator to align our actions towards SDGs, towards that goal which is there in front of us. It's just 8 years to go into 2030, right? We don't have a runway. We can't fly away. We need to take some small steps to get there by 2030. And this is pressing. This is urgent. And that's why we're here to talk about this. And as educators, I know that there's so much that we can do. Because of the pandemic, everything has anyways gone slower. We need to reignite everything. And as educators, we can connect with the new generation, Gen Z. They are in our hands, right with us. The way we can influence them, no one can. And with our session, you will see how beautifully, as career counselors, what is the dynamic change, the miraculous change that we can bring about through career and college guidance, and into that impact of a better world. Yeah. All right, Ramya.
Okay. So you've all heard of the Times Higher Education, right?
Yeah.
What do we associate it with? Rankings, right? But they also have, they have they have the general rankings, the employability rankings, they also have sort of sustainability rankings of the institutions. But recently, they did a survey of international students. This is a survey they conducted of 3,151 international students in May of this year. So this is pretty recent. And it was a survey to understand how students are thinking about sustainability when they think of higher education choices, right? So what is striking is 71% of students and prospective students were aware of UN SDGs. Now, when we think of our own students, what do we feel? Like, can I get a quick, what percentage of your students do you think are aware of UN SDGs? Do you want to shout out a number? 5. That's really 90%. That is amazing. 90%, 60%. Yes, sir. 75%. Okay, so that is good. So, oh, sorry. Yes, thank you. I don't know how to do this. So basically, I mean, that is a large number of students. And this makes sense to us, right? Because when we speak to these kids, we know these things are front and center in their mind, right? But look at this. So 86% see universities as equally important stakeholders as governments and businesses. Because when we think of sustainability, all those things you guys mentioned, right? The environment, climate change, gender equality, things like that. We think more about government policies. We think about large, institutions, corporates, right? But students are saying that universities are as important as those institutions, as governments and businesses in driving sustainable practices, okay? So, no, was that me? Was that you guys? Okay, all right. So I would urge you all to look at this survey. The link is below. You can take a screenshot. We have the QR code if you want to go to it. It's really interesting, okay? Now, further, the survey asked which of these 17 SDGs are most important. So for students, it was, unsurprisingly, SDG 4, which is quality education, followed by climate action. And a in close alignment with that is zero hunger. So those are the 3 tick marks that we have put. But look at that, that's just 3, right? Whereas there are so many other SDGs. So we need to make them perhaps more aware, because when they say that 71% of the students are aware, maybe that awareness is just focused on the few SDGs. But really, we have to think of it, we have to start thinking of it as a holistic, all 17 goals working together. Okay, so why does this all matter, right? Why should it matter to us as counselors? Because when students are looking at higher education at colleges and universities, they are looking at all these things. This is a very wordy slide. We apologize, so you can just take a screenshot. But basically, they're looking at policies, practices, what the universities are doing in terms of sustainability, not just what they're saying. So what does this mean to us? We all talk about the right fit, right? So we need to make sure we also are looking at these things when we are talking to students, right? So the 3 takeaways from this survey are: 1, we as counselors need to be more aware of SDGs. We as counselors need to incorporate SDGs when we're talking to students about fit. And the third is, as institutions ourselves, right? Schools are institutions, and we can be very impactful. And so what are we doing as a school? Like, imagine if this survey was done with our students for our schools, what would the results be like? So through the rest of this presentation, we're going to give you some guidelines on how we as counselors and our institutions can incorporate these practices tangibly into our institutions. Oh, sorry, that's my slide. Okay. It's been a long couple of days, apologies. Okay, so we're gonna go through a quick exercise, just a couple of minutes. Pretty traditional career path, right? Because green guidance, often we think of all these like very new and upcoming, environmental engineers and sustainability consultants and stuff. Mechanical engineering, right? Please take out your phones or your tabs or laptops, whatever it is. Take 2 minutes and go through whatever careers you want in mechanical engineering and tick off in your little printouts that we gave you how many SDGs are covered by mechanical engineering. And just write 1 career against whichever ones you can think of. Is that clear? Right? So how many SDGs do mechanical engineering careers impact? Yeah, we'll take 2 minutes, 1 minute to do this. So, Ambika, you want to set a timer, or somebody wants to set a timer? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so clear, right? Yes. Yeah, please share. We have 2 extras here. Folks online, you can please pull up this SDG.
Should we go
Please
back to
share
the
with your.
slide?
Please share with your table.
Ramya, give me, I'll just push back that slide.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
Oh, it's in
here.
the next slide. Okay,
Here.
sorry. Oh, it was in the next slide too.
Are you thinking? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
positive impacts, not negative impacts. So if a factory is spewing out a hell of a lot of carbon dioxide, which it probably is, we don't want to put that against climate action, right? Positive impact through mechanical engineering careers on any of these SDGs.
So basically, the idea is a person who is a mechanical engineer, what SDGs can that person in his own career touch upon?
Or in her own career, because
Yes.
we often associate mechanical engineering with men. As an
Yes.
engineer myself, I've seen this in real life, so. Yes, that's trauma. Do you guys need any help?
Any help?
Is the assignment clear?
Okay.
Thank you for coming. You can feel free to discuss amongst your group. This is not an individual. It's up to you. Okay, 30 seconds. Okay, so to keep this crisp and, oh my God, I
Yeah.
went really way back. Okay, and. Excellent. Okay, who wants to share? Brave soul. We'll give you some candy from the free candy that's sitting in your thing. Okay, I'm going to pick on this table because it's a big table. Yes.
Hi everyone, good morning. So we have shot down few lists as we see that's a couple of points which really makes an impact in sustainability in mechanical engineering. So the first one is the 8th point, the decent work and economic growth. And we have industry and innovation and infrastructure development. And no, it's not.
Oh, this is gone.
It's gone.
It is, it is.
So the next will be the sustainable cities and the communities. And responsible consumption and production, the 12th one. And the 17th, the partnerships for the goals.
Okay. And okay, any other who wants to share next? Someone at this end of the room. If you can also give us if any specific careers or just like one phrase on how the SDGs impacted.
Yeah, I don't know about specific careers, but we came across number 2, 6, 7, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. But I think mechanical engineering could impact all of these in one way or another if we had more time to go through it. But basically, number 2, zero hunger. Obviously, mechanical engineering can help produce better food production methods. Number 6, I think it's quite obvious because I think mechanical engineering is already working on clean water and sanitation. Number 7, affordable and clean energy. We're already working on that because we have wind farms and solar energy, so mechanical engineering is already there. Number 11, materials and methods are also already being looked at to help with buildings, and the list goes on. So I think a lot of it is already being impacted through mechanical engineering. I'll finish them.
Thank you. It's just a long session, so no. But yes, I think you really hit the nail on the head, because it can impact all 17 SDGs. And there is a little link here. We should have been smarter and put a QR code, but that is a report from UNESCO that basically details how even a traditional career, a traditional major like mechanical engineering, has an impact on all 17 SDGs. So the takeaway from this exercise is that green guidance is not just about new age green careers. It is about how, thinking, just putting on a different lens and even approaching traditional careers through an SDG lens. So with that, I'll hand it over to Khushbu to actually take us through some case studies. Yes, so we'll share it in the notes of the, that's a good, I'll just do it right now. Thank you.
We have 1 or 2 things online. Yes. So just acknowledging our 20 participants online. Thank you, guys. We're so happy that early in the morning you're engaging with us. So Apurva says that Tata Motors has a sustainable development policies amongst all its goals. We're also talking, there's a lot of electronic vehicle, EV, etc. there. And on the mech example, the mechanical engineering in particular, food seems to have come up, agriculture seems to have come up, and medicine seems to have come up in terms of production. So that's very interesting, and I think it's very topical given how we have experienced food shortage, logistics shortage, as well as medicine logistics issues over the pandemic. So thank you, online guys. We're keeping an eye out on you as well.
Thank you.
All right. Is this working? Yeah. So, these are some of my students that I thought would be really relevant to share here. These are real-time case studies. These are my guys studied from Sanskar and now doing some great work in their life. So this is the engineering pathway that we want to discuss first, and then we'll move on to economics. Now, in engineering, this guy, Prachir Datta, he was at our school, a very nerdy guy, never bothered about SDGs and social impact and all of that, just very nerdy, got into IIT, got into textile engineering. And there in Delhi, he just experienced that there was so much pollution coming out of paddy fields, the paddy waste, that the farmers had. And that really touched him. But he didn't have all the expertise to do something about it. So he created a panel, and they all became social entrepreneurs. And it's an award-winning firm, the organization working on sustainable packaging solutions. They're also helping the farmers sell those paddy waste, and at the same time reducing single use of plastic. So all this is happening because something hit him. He just went through a very simple traditional Indian route. No fancy degree, but just the right intent, just the right cause, just the right purpose. And he figured how he wants to do this, right? So this is one situation. Now, a very interesting story is when Prachir was invited, we invited him as an alumni to come and talk to our students and talk about what he's doing because it was so inspiring. So this guy, Tanmay Prakash, who's right now in UCSD, he got inspired. And how? And in grade 10th, he got complete clarity. He was completely sold out to this, that I want to study a green degree and have a green career. And right now, he's studying renewable energy and environmental flows at UCSD. So this is just a small thing, but it was transformational for this child and for our school and for me as a counselor to see that how little exposures can just change the canvas of the way our students are thinking and how they're taking SDGs, right? So this is one engineering thing. Yeah, I have it. All right. The next is economic pathways. Another interesting thing, if you see these two girls, very simple, humble start to their career. One studied economics at LSR, the other studied economics at Xavier's. Now just imagine the umbrella of economics. One is right now in sustainable fashion as an industry, and the other one is with climate change in the US. She was right now in Delhi, in fact, talking to all the who's who of the country, how to manage the climate change in India. So what I want to tell you is that after studying economics at LSR, Lavanya went to Yale to study development economics. And there, just one professor changed her life. He just took her for a basic visit to a factory, a garment factory, where there were two factories. One was sustainable factory and one was absolute commercial factory. There she herself felt the difference between how the workers were treated in sustainable factory and how it was different the other way in the commercial factory. And how much effort and wastage goes into creating one garment. So there, her heart hit that I want to work on SDG 10, reduced inequalities for workers, and SDG 12, responsible consumption and production. And there, right now she's working with Good Business Labs spread out across the globe, and this is an initiative by Yale professors. So this was one. The other thing is climate change. So here she, of course, after economics, she went to University of Arizona to study corporate sustainability, and then at American University to study public policy and environmental studies. What triggered for her was when she was at Xavier's, can you believe it, the professors told her, you have two subjects, sustainability and environment, that you can completely skip. It's not even required for you to study and pass to get the economics degree at Xavier's. And that's what it just intrigued her, that what's in it there, that it's there, but the professor is saying it's not needed. And you know, she was like, this is it. I really want to do this. How can India not think about it? So these are just real case studies, and just see basic, humble Indian background. All our students in India can do these programs and then ultimately, you know, find their own passion and calling. Right, Ambika. Oh, of course. So this is also one table that we put across. This is just to let you all know that green degrees are in plenty all over the world. India, I know Vikram is here, I know so many people, I know Ahmedabad University is growing big on sustainability and a lot of humanity programs. So like that, there are so many universities thinking about it. And along with green degrees, now green careers, they're salaried. So if you can see that the salary bracket is absolutely clean. You know, I know as counselors, we need to answer our parents. And this is what will help you answer them. So having the right careers, the right calling, I think my students, all the four I can vouch, they're in a very happy space. They're doing what they want to do and also making an impact. So this is what we really want to work upon as counselors. Yes. Oh, please.
Guys, you're going to get the slides. So, I mean, the resolution on your photographs are not going to be great. You're going to get the slides. The links are there. The QR codes are there. Whatever else you need from us, it's available. So thank you, Khushbu. Thank you, Ramya. This is a topic which is very close to my heart. If anyone knows, for the last 5 years, I've been holding the SDG flag, diversity, inclusion, access. It's really important. For those who don't know, my school covers all socioeconomic stratas. So I have kids who rock up in a Porsche. I also have kids who come walking to school, come rain or sunshine. So it is really important to do this. The other bit is that, okay, let's stick to the slides. I'm going to have 2 slides. I'm going to encapsulate what we have done at our school, what we're developing with the SDG committee at IC3. And again, please stop me if there are any questions here. The goal when we approached this was one simple statement: creative, purpose-driven students with integrity. Eventually, from my counseling office, that's all I want. I want creative students who are purpose-driven and they have integrity. What does that mean? If they're thinking, they're self-inspired, they're motivated, you don't have to push them. You don't have to push them to get deadlines done, right? They're creative, they're thinking, they're curious, they're critical thinking. These are skills that will translate anywhere, anytime in the world. The second is purpose-driven. With an information overload, with the amount of access, with the amount of money these kids have, I mean, think back to your own childhoods. We did a lot with a lot less. And now they have so much more, but there's apathy, there's numbness, they don't care. So how do you develop that spark in that baby, right? So purpose-driven. And when somebody is hooked, guys, there is a difference in the quality of conversation in your counselor's office. You're welcome to come. I have a small little office. The tiles are of literally 3 different decades are on the floor. But it doesn't matter because the quality of conversations. So I'm speaking to all the young counselors here who are starting off and they feel, oh, I don't have that 10 lakh budget, and I'm sorry to pick on you, but I don't have a Dhirubhai kind of office, and I don't have people jumping on, into my room. It doesn't matter. What matters is the energy and the authenticity that you sit there with. And listen, you're joking. Sometimes my printer has to go to my admin because, hers is overheated and she's scanning documents. We're sharing a printer, it goes up and down. It's okay. What is important is the conversation. And I come back to this. I have actually written this down on a Post-it and it's under my table, that all I need to do every day is to help them be more creative, help them be more engaged, and make sure integrity exists. Academic integrity is critical. We are losing it as a country. We're losing integrity and authenticity as a counseling practice, and we're losing it as an industry. So these are difficult conversations. You may not like being called out, but guys, these are conversations we need to be having. We're crafting the engineers, the doctors, the space scientists of tomorrow. And if we don't do it with integrity, it's not going to happen, right? So point number 1 was the goal. That is our goal. So please feel free to adopt it, copy, paste. I've also copied it from somebody. Next, alignment. A commitment. It starts at your counselor's office. You need to know what the SDGs are. You need to know there are 17 of them. You need to know there are 194 countries. If you don't know it, please reach out. Please tell us, just text one of us, text the IC3 Committee on Sustainability. You want a session, we'll get it organized. You want us to do a session in your school, we'll do it. You want your kids to join one of our sessions, hey, don't do the work, just leverage. Be somebody who's sitting on a dolphin, on the wave, there's no problem. So the commitment starts in your office. I'll give you 2 examples. One of our dear friends, Samir, I don't know if you've seen him. He's now at Shiv Nadar, he shaved his head. I don't know if you know the story. He actually has a lot of hair, but he shaved it off because he's going to spend a year of the money and whatever he spent on barbers and shampoos, etc. And he's going to put, and the time that he's saving, he's donating. And so children actually, yeah, really, because you see that shows a lack of vanity and it shows a commitment, and children believe what you do more than what you say. So if you're like, oh guys, we need to be sustainable, but then you're calling these plastic bags and the takeaway has all those spoons, they're not going to believe it. They're going to model what you're doing physically. The next thing is your senior management. Are they committed? And if they're not, these are small conversations. It has been 5 years in the making in my school. I still don't talk about it on social media. So that's my other recommendation to you. Don't start, hey, let me tell everybody about it. No, just do the groundwork, do it in your schools. The work will result in amazing projects. It will result with the kids doing amazing things. And that work will automatically speak for itself. And I know we have a lot of people who advocate sharing. First, do it yourself. Have something concrete to share, and then share. And then speak to people who are at your level and people who are doing things at different levels. The next is the parents. Now, I don't know about you. Could I see a show of hands? Where is the struggle with the parents? How many of you struggle with having new age conversations with parents? Right? Because my child has to be a doctor engineer. It's still happening in my school. So if it's happening in my school, I just figure that if it's happening in my school, it's happening in every school. That's how it is. The thing is, with the parents, what we've started doing is I highlight the viability. Why is sustainable careers or green guidance viable? And I give them examples of what kids are doing, exactly what Khushbu told you. Right? So you could have gone, you don't have to go to a Yale at the beginning of life to make it in green. Look at that kid. Somebody went to Xavier, somebody went to LSR, and look at where they're working today. Those are aspirational stories. So one is visibility. The second is stability. We have to talk through data. I'm an ex-banker, you guys know that. So I use numbers to convince. I don't try and convince through, hey, because so-and-so said it. No, here are the numbers. So if you looked at the last slide, let me just pop back. You might say, hey, $34,000 is not a lot, but people who have worked abroad will realize that you start off between 30 and 80,000 bucks, okay, all inclusive when you graduate from college. Very few get the 120 and 250. And I assure you, very few people are getting the $500,000 starting off when they're 23, 24 years old. It takes a couple of years to get there, right? And if you show them that from 40,000 to 120,000, stable jobs which are relevant in the future, that's one. The second data point we use is 7 out of 10 careers don't exist today. The ones that are going to be relevant in the future. Again, if I told you 15 years ago that you can have a tablet, a television that goes anywhere and I can watch an Israeli series the minute it is, unveiled in Tel Aviv, you would think I was smoking up. You'd be like, she's on drugs, right? But I'm not. 15 years in, we have the iPad, and sitting here, we're collaborating with I don't know how many countries across the world. We're having conversations. So the future is amazing. It is intense. It's going to be so fast-paced. And honestly, we don't know, and the parents don't know. So the only thing we can do is equip them with skills, and we can equip them with thinking and the ability to take various things that are coming at them and amalgamate them into something relevant. Am I making sense? Sorry, I get really carried away, as you can tell on this topic, right? So I'm just coming back to the parents. I've just written my notes, so I just stay on point. 1, highlight the viability. Talk about stability. And last, talk about skills and workforce readiness. Please become counselors who talk about skills and workforce readiness. And you'll be like, Ambika, what does that have to do with the UN SDG? Everything. This is what it is about. The UN is not just sitting there to do, pontificate, men in ivory towers. I call them scratchy beard conversations, like these men who are sitting and saying, oh, this is what we should do with the world. No, that's not what it is. They're trying to help us be more peaceful, prosperous, and stable. And we are helping our students get to a world which is worth living in, yaar. I mean, these kids don't have a great childhood these days. Let me be honest. I'm very happy I had the childhood I had, right? Okay, so that's point number 2. Oh, right. Parents is covered. Now behavior. They model your behavior. And what are you doing to align the student's behavior to sustainability? That's number 2. Number 3, let's talk about showcasing. Now, this is something which is very big and it's very popular these days. But let's talk about relevance and prosperity. Let's talk about the countries like Sweden and Finland, where you have universal health and you have universal care. These are the kind of places our kids should be wanting to go to and study and emulate. If you look at the top 5 indicators of prosperity and peacefulness, we're not there, right? How do we take our 1.3 billion population there? And I know you're like, buddy, let me handle my 100 kids in school, Ambika. Like, let the 1.3 billion be. That's not it. If each one of us are impacting 100, 200, 1,000, 2,000 kids, imagine the exponential effect that it'll have, right? So it's a tidal wave, guys. Next, positive reinforcements. So this is what we do tactically in school, the blogs, the clubs, at the assemblies. We call out the kids who are doing things which are sustainable in nature. I'll repeat that. It is very small steps. In your blogs, in your magazine, in your school clubs, in your own posts, celebrate the kids and genuinely celebrate them. Don't be like, oh, I'm so cool because I guided this kid like this. No. It's like, wow, that kid is amazing. He came up with this on his own, and I am humbled that this child who's 17, like Mozart who was 12, wrote those 38 variations in 44 minutes. Anil told us yesterday, right? Please understand, everyone can see through intent. My intent is clear here. I am passionate here. It's showing through. Yeah, I'm also calling out myself as well as you. Children are smarter than us. Don't tell them that. But they are smarter than us, and they will read your intent. So when you're glamorizing them, Khushbu likes this word, when you're glamorizing them, glamorize them. Glamorize their positive reinforcement. Don't glamorize yourself. Please, I request you, this is very, very important. I'm seeing a trend in our industry, and it's not going to serve our kids well if we keep on saying, hey, I'm so great. No, babies, you're amazing. Go out there, do something. Because when you're amazing and there are 5,000 of my amazing kids out there, yeah, then I'm amazing, right? So that's showcasing. Let's talk about data and partnerships because, what is life without data? The little nerd in me is like, so look at my face, it's gleaming now. Okay, so what gets measured gets improved. And you're like, Ambika, please, I already do, updates to my senior management and how many admits I've gotten and how many Ivy Leagues did I get and what was the result ratio and blah, 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 whatever. So everyone has their own KPIs. No, I'm asking you simple things. When you're having a conversation, let's say, how many of you do more than 10 sessions a year that you conduct? Not that you're asking somebody else or, hey, let me lean back and ask Jitin, let me ask Mindler to come and do a session. They might be great, but how many of you do more than 10 sessions with your batches a year? Can I see a show of hands? Okay. How many do more than 20? How many do more than 40 sessions? Okay. So last year, not including last year, but the years before that, we do a total of about 110 sessions. It is very intense, out of which 1/3 I make sure I do. And I don't have slides for everything. I normally have one page, and I talk through. And it's an open workshop, so it's not me talking down. It's about me listening to what they want, what the parents want. It's literally questions on a slide. If you attended our pre-conference, how many of you guys were there at the pre-conference? You saw our slides, right? There were questions, and we were just like, okay, get back to us. So what gets measured gets improved. There's a lot of resources. All universities are committed to sustainability, guys. Maybe because they have to because it's cool, or maybe because they're just decent institutions and they believe in what we're doing, right? So please, there is this amazing place. I'm just going to read out there. MIT Sloan has this aggregate confusion project. First, I mean, how clever. Aggregate confusion project. So collective confusion. Fantastic. Okay. They are researching to improve the quality of ESG measurement and decision-making in the financial sector. Because it's Sloan, it's business, and their project shows methodologies of doing this. There's also another one which is doing biodiversity accounting. So how do you quantify an environmental impact of your business? Now, these are things which are relevant. You could be a BBA student, it matters. Right? You could be a chemical engineering student, it matters. So do that. The next is the educator community, which is us. We're here today. Thank you for turning up. We were expecting 2 tables, right? Confess. Come on, you guys. Yeah, we made people move thinking there'll be 2 tables because, we're thinking this is a dry topic. Not everybody will be interested. So thank you for turning up. Thank you for listening. And thank you for taking this forward. I'm expecting everybody will take 2 or 3 things forward into their schools. Have that difficult conversation, help a friend out, or reach out to one of us. We're more than happy to help. Right? How are we for time, guys? Okay. Oh, look at you. Okay, so thank you. So in the educator community, there is a lot of resources available. I'm going to plug our committee here right now. There is a Sustainable Development Committee, guys. We're going to be reinstating it after IC3. Please join, even if you have 4 hours a month. If you have 2 days a year, join. Learn for free, but join, contribute, come and do projects with us, right? And the last is diversity and perspective. This is very, very important. We're increasingly connected. Boundaries have vanished. COVID has shown us that. The NEP is showing us over time, those streams are going to vanish. Everything is connected. Facebook today hires economists who have a psychology degree because consumer behavior is what makes the... So it is very important that when you put groups together, and this is my favorite, don't let friends sit together. Don't let the clever kids sit together. Shake them up. No, it is very important. We didn't do it right now, but I'm like, That's wonderful. You're already there. You're tick mark on one, right? The other thing is, I see a lot of this, especially in the larger, sort of more competitive schools, is, hey, global leadership, Ambika, where's the global leadership? I don't care. I want to see local initiative. Okay? Show me local initiative, show me real, and that counts. And year after year after year, with the thousands of kids I've sent abroad to amazing universities, we have proven that global leadership is, yes, amazing. You win the NASA competition in Conrad and blah, blah, blah. Yes, we do. It's a fact. But not all my kids do that, right? The other ones are doing things in their communities. So it's very important to do that. And to Khushbu's point, exposure matters. So a professor took that girl to a factory, and it clicked something, and look at where she's working today. Prachir is the one who had the lung problem. Am I right? Yeah, so suffered personally, so exposure matters. So that's basically my slide. Please just list that down. It's, are you doing, let me read from here, why am I? Goal, creative, purpose-driven students with integrity. Please imbibe, if you want to write your own, please do. I've copied it. It works for me. Next, alignment. Align yourself, align your management, align your behavior and your speech to what you're doing. Next, showcase. Show the relevance, highlight that stuff. And partnerships. I'm going to call out Vikram. I'm sorry, you're the only yellow badge holder, I think, here. Yeah, only yellow badge holder. Ahmedabad University, those of you who don't know, please grab him after the meeting. And they have an amazing program. Azim Premji has just started a four-year program. So you will see increasingly, oh, sorry, sir. I'm so sorry. Okay, great. Azim Premji has started. So I'm glad Ramya told me that. So 2 yellow badge holders, guys. So right here in this room, you've got people who are committed and they are investing in curriculum, in professors, before your students have paid for it. At the end of the day, business, I mean, college is a business, right? They have to make money. But before they have got students, they are committing on this path. And that is amazing. Could we just have a round of applause for the 2 universities, please? Thank you. And so that's sort of my summary slide. And then you'll be like, oh, Ambika, that's great, but what about stuff we can really do in my counseling office? Okay, here you go. 3 points on the left, 3 points on the right. On the left, exposure and experience. This is institutional. What does that mean? As an institution, as an office, this is what you can drive. Talk, invite an expert. You don't have to be an expert at everything. Invite an expert, an energy, a water, a social justice expert to your school to come and speak to the students, right? Number 2, magazine or your clubs. Does everybody have at least one magazine in school? Yeah, can I see a show of hands? Everybody who has a magazine, can I see? Magazine, blogs, clubs, something. So please don't write yourself. Get 3 kids to go and interview a farm-to-table person, or somebody who's a sustainable fashion brand, or an advocacy expert, or a zero-waste chef. Because all of these things are happening in every city. And get them to interview it, write an article, put it in your... Do you see what I mean? Create that effect. Next, strengthen your counselor's office. Develop your own green resources. Conduct your own green workshops. Take ownership. I know you think it sounds a lot, but it has a multiplier effect down the line. So this is what on the left-hand side is what we can do as an office. On the right-hand side is what the kids can do. And yes, it helps with profile building, but that aside, it helps with character building, right? Which is competitions, internships, and projects. You can establish a green club. You can raise funds for, say, air quality meters in school. And then somebody can do a project on that information. Somebody can do SPSS analysis on that information. Next, you can set up a carpooling thing. You can encourage participation in sustainability competitions. So I've just listed 3 at the bottom. But there are, I think, over 40 odd sustainability competitions that are happening. You don't want to do the research? Doesn't matter. You've got that one little kid in the school who's a little enthusiastic on research, who talks really well on LinkedIn or Instagram. Find that kid. Get that kid to put this resource list together and circulate it and say credit so-and-so. Don't take the credit. Let the child do it. Send it out. When one child sees, oh, so-and-so's document has gone out with their name on it, I also want to. Next, 5 other kids will be volunteering. Be clever on the resources you have. Guys, I have a 0 budget office. I have 0 staff. We still manage. Thank you. Thanks, Vikram. You have to learn to use the resources you have. Don't complain. What you have, there's a lot out there that you can take from. And the last is shadow a sustainability expert at work. So these are things that kids can do. So on the right, what the kids can do. On the left is what the institution can do. Who's doing this?
Let's just open it up.
Yeah, we'll open it. Oh, okay, so just one quick thing then, if we're... We'll skip, I'm just, okay. So this is, big change starts small. I know I'm a tall, big person, but I started this really small, in a very small office with very little knowledge. Okay, so big change starts small, and look at us today, talking to maybe 100, 200 people, making hopefully impact into 1,000 kids today. And this is amazing, not because we're standing here, because I know next year and the year after that, you guys will be here, and we will be listening to you. So please, just start small, but start, don't stop. And the next thing is, these are things that you can do at home. Save electricity, switch off the lights, don't leave the AC on. When you're not using a computer, don't shut it down. Like, don't put the lid down, literally shut it down. Stop paper statements, take bills online. Air dry your clothes, air dry your hair. She gave me her Dyson in the morning to get my look, but she air dried hers. Take shorter showers. Now, these are things kids can do. So commit, buy minimally packaged products, change your Zomato, Swiggy settings. I've done this. So when I order in stuff at school and I have a water bottle, like we're not drinking from these.
By the way, this is my pet peeve. I have
Yeah.
IC3 this. I hate this.
Yes.
When during the pre-conference, I knew we were at a school with a cooler, so I made her also carry here. And I didn't know in the hotel where to do it, so I'm forced to. It's just like I feel this is awful. This is awful.
Yeah.
As a group,
Yeah.
we need to say no.
Just say no. And you can. Guess what? You know, consent matters. We're saying no to this. Use refillable water. So, I mean, I'm just showing you, okay, here. Anyone who enjoys a nice cocktail at the end of the day? Sometimes there are ice cubes left over because you've gulped the cocktail. What do? Don't chuck the ice cube. Rinse it out, throw it into a plant. I'm saying little things you don't even realize, but little behavior that changes. Okay? And I'm not being a green Nazi here, but it matters. And it will matter because this is not a planet that we want to give and leave to our children. Just please, guys, commit. And we're really, really grateful that you're here today to hear us. Now, floor is open.
No, this lady's passion is what has really brought us together. Like Khushbu also said, we attended her, and that's why I also joined the Sustainable Development Committee at IC3. We urge you all to come and join. There's nothing as a, we only have so many members or anything. Everybody come join. Your ideas are most welcome. We're trying to work on more initiatives that we can do. But we'll open it up now because we've spoken enough.
Yeah, we've spoken.
But she really is amazing.
Stop it, Rana.
Contagious passion. And I'm not just saying that because she's my friend. Anyway, Q&A, please. Any questions?
Any questions, guys?
And online too will monitor. You take this.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, could I request questions first and then lots of shares? We'll stay back for everything. Just give me. Any questions, guys? How do you join the committee?
I know. Okay, I'm doing the IC3 involved session. Please come and attend that. It's from 2 to 3. I'll tell you all about it.
Brilliant plug, Khushbu. I appreciate it. Sales and marketing right here. Outreach committee at work, people. Okay, but which room?
Okay.
Brilliant work,
We'll just
Khushbu.
check that.
The app, another plug.
Yeah.
for all this stuff.
Okay, so in
Getting
addition to,
involved.
yes, joining the session,
2 to 3.
please just reach out to anyone. Info at IC3, at IC3, go online
2A.
and volunteer.
It's 2A.
Literally, right.
Getting
And it's at
involved.
2A.
2A.
2
2 to
p.m.
3 p.m.
2 p.m. 2A. Really easy. 2 to 2. Okay. Thank you for asking. Anybody else for questions before we have ma'am? Nope. Okay. I like this, but I actually don't. I'm used to a school where the questions and hands go up.
Okay, it's really nice to see you, Ambika, being so passionate. I'm another one here, and the whole team, because we are a school based in Kutch, and we are a green school. Last 20 years, I'm crusading, and it's a marathon task, but we managed to convert the community now. I'll just share a little example. It's a mission. It's called Sachet Nagrik Paryavaran Rakshak, because we are a Gujarati, and English is not so much. Of course, it's an English medium school, which I represent. But there was this kund, a heritage water body, and it was filthy. So we took it on. This was just before the pandemic. And we had a team of dancers who are reviving water bodies come in from Baroda. We had an annual program there. I literally fought with the archaeological department. It is under the archaeological department. And we took it on to clean that kund. The school did it with our little resources. I got a lot of backlash from my family. And of course the parents, nobody was supporting us. But it was something which was disturbing me. And so we cleaned that kund without the Nagar Palika, just with extra payments to the Nagar Palika bodies. And today, they're lighting diyas in the kund and celebrating Water Day there or Heritage Revival.
Amazing.
And this is a small little mission. There's lots more, but I won't take up time.
Can I request, could you just write this down as a case study? We'll put it in the white paper.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a.
Consolidating all these little examples.
A-
Because she might spark something in your brain.
And this little water body is connected to the main source of a lake there, which was a garbage dump, and they're trying to construct shops inside. So we have been crusading for that, and today with the good rains in Kutch, the entire lake is full. So people have come around to support our little school, and they're doing the work on their own. And they just go around cleaning the town. So the next mission is garbage. We are working, but we don't have financial support. And that is what is, the restraint when you have a heart like this, and how do you go around doing this? Another thing, it's a flash on your screen. We started peace education this year. There's a body called HWPL. They do free peace educators training. Do join in with them. And it's wonderful mission. We just launched it this year, and it's going to sensitize the children, the future generation.
Lovely. Thank you so much. So any other questions?
Any other questions? Yes.
Hi, I'm Nupur from City Montessori School, Lucknow, and I want to share a similar experience in our school. Our school started a project called Blue Nudge Project. I'm not sure if others are aware about it. And since City Montessori is a big chain of a school in Lucknow, so in all our campuses, we are collecting this single-use plastic. Every week, it's a project for students. They collect it, and they get points for that. And all that plastic that we collect, we send it to UN, and they recycle it into plastic furniture. And that's how we are utilizing and bringing awareness among the students.
Lovely.
So there's the other thing I noticed is there is a bent towards climate change, because that's what media is covering,
Yeah.
and Ramya and I were discussing it in the car. There's a lot of bent towards climate change. But could we just go back to that colorful slide? There are multiple aspects to sustainability. I think it's like first and midway through. Yeah. Sorry. There are multiple aspects to sustainability. So yes, climate change is a great one. And when Ramya was talking about it, they're looking at climate change, they're looking at education, but there are gender equality, clean water sanitation, responsible consumption and production. There are a lot of things that we can be doing in our own lives. Please do self-reflection. The second bit is we're developing an inventory to see where counselors stand and help you understand this. So when this goes out, we don't know how to reach out to you, perhaps through ICT we'll figure that out. But please just watch out for this inventory so we can get an understanding of where you need help. And I'm not saying this from a looking down point of view. It's like, what do we need to do, guys? It's like a common conversation. And then the other one, which is number 16, which is peace, justice, and strong institutions, as well as, give me a second, reduced inequalities, which is 10, and gender, and 17. Okay, so 5, 10, 16, 17. Over the last year and a half, I've been working on digital citizenship, because the computers have entered your lives and the lives of a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old, and kids who are in kindergarten have a screen in front of them, and there are manifold repercussions on this, right? We're not even appreciating what's going to happen. COVID is not going to end now. COVID, the repercussions of this, we're going to see for the next 10 years. I don't know about you, but my kids who are coming into classrooms, in grade 12, they have the mental and the social emotional quotient of a grade 9 or grade 10 kid. They're not there yet. They're not college ready, let alone work ready. Right? So that's one thing to think about, and we're talking about this. So these are few things that we're doing. There are actually a lot of other things. We don't want to announce them because that's unfair to the people who are going to be announcing them. But just please keep a lookout, and please connect with us. I know these guys are social beasts. So
I just want to put a plug for.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the white paper?
yeah. Go
Okay,
for it.
so the Sustainable Development Committee is unveiling a white paper. I'm not sure when that's happening, but that has case studies as well. And please do read that. I think Srijal also, after that.
Yeah, can I?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm from Meridian School, Madhapur, Hyderabad. We have started a drive called Plastic Not Fantastic in our school. And this is something, making paper bags, it's very common. Everybody, they do it. But what we have started, that we have started talking to children. And we have told them that you go and talk to the community, every society, they have their committee office. And every society has vendor, flower vendor, these vendors. And every day, they, hang in a small polythene bag flowers at every door. So what we have told that, every community, just find out all the Meridianites, every day sit for 1 hour and make paper bags. and go and tell them that we are gifting it to you. So just, have 60 bags per week, give it to them and tell them that, instead of using those plastics, give it in the bag and give it at all the doors. So that's how we have started. We have made PPT, it is a kind of drive that, we have started from grade 1 to grade 12. And our students, they have made PPT, they have taken session for students. And it was something, that in every community, children have made paper bags and they have given to the vendors. They are society vendors, and they all were so happy, and parents, they came and say, ma'am, this is something, every day they are saying we are going down, but today we are going to make paper bags. So this is something that we, I wanted to share this thing with you. Thank you so much.
Shrija.
Hi. This is a fantastic session. I truly loved it. Ambika, love your passion. So I represent, I'm the founder of the school called Sparkling Minds in Bangalore, and we run missions with our students, change-making missions, and it is part of their day-to-day life experiences. So when we started out this whole thing, we got them to segregate the waste at school, literally with their hands. Yeah, I know, you. And they didn't start like that. In fact, they said, there is no problem. They said this problem belonged to somebody else, and we are perfect. Right, so we took them to the landfill, which is actually filling up very fast close to our school. It's called a place called Mitagnahalli. You can actually smell the stench right from 10 kilometers away. It's that bad. And then they were like, we are doing this? These waste trucks are coming from our place? They're like, no. But we segregate our waste. How is this getting mixed up, right? This is not working out. And then we let waste not segregate in the school for some time. And the act of separating it really got them thinking. That then led to a lot of initiatives. In fact, they did a quick data analysis and they figured out that the biggest waste that comes in school is chocolate wrappers from the birthday celebrations. So they have pledged that they will not bring chocolates to school.
Wow.
They bring dates instead, and there is another committee which is working on food. This is called SM, they're calling it SM Plates, and they're creating healthy snacks out of jaggery and dates and dry fruits to sell to these students and creating business opportunity in that process. And there is a mission called Child Vulnerability that we are running, which covers a lot of the work that you're doing, and they work on empathy. So as soon as children come into school, they spot children who need empathy, and they offer empathy to those students. And all of this is part of something that we're working on. I'm going to do a plug for our session from 2 to 3 at GA on how to develop motivation in students. So please do come. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Ambika, I had actually a comment and a question.
Yes, sir.
So I'm Vikram. I'm from, as she said, Ahmedabad University. I think some of these things, right, discussions on ethics or discussions on sustainability, I think these aren't subjects that can be taught in seclusion. Ethics, you're taking decisions every day. You're taking decisions in a physics class, in a math class, in a communications class, in an advertising class. So I think as universities, some of us, what we do is sustainable, or ethics, for instance. Every decision that you take, you are putting a compass saying, is this right, and to what degree can I actually take this decision in a more ethical way or in a more sustainable way? So the question really for schools is, many of you follow the local boards, which is CBSE, which is ISC. I know that international schools do a lot more effort in bringing thinking into everything they do. How are CBSE schools bringing in awareness? How are you promoting this, not just by the career counseling office, but how are schools otherwise doing this? And some examples I've heard, but is there a way in which you can create a model and that can be shared actually not just with your school, but with schools across, and simple things that can be done?
They want to share.
So yes, we've got, could you just stand up so I know which ones are answering Vikram's question? So Vikram, here's what, we've already created the Green Warriors, and you cannot pin me down on this question. So I am going to hand the mics over. Same school. So.
Yeah, both of us are from the same school, Silver Oaks International School. I just wanted to read out our mission statement, the school's mission statement. To integrate into teaching and learning, the goals were conservation and social justice, to develop civic virtues and emotional skills that can empower our icons are our students, to be icons of personal and social change who will play leading roles in the transition to a sustainable future.
Wow. That is commitment. That's amazing.
I'm from Silver Oaks. Yeah. And I wanted to tell you one of our policy, that is stationery policy, where our students are not carrying their stationery in those plastic boxes to the schools. Stationery is available in the classes. So here they use the stationery from the class. They need not carry their plastic boxes, which means about 3,000 to 6,000 plastic boxes are not being produced to sustain this, to have a sustainable practice.
Just 1 second, time's up, so I'm going to ask Supritas. Thank you, ma'am. Sorry, I don't mean to cut. We've been given short. Just get that one item. Yes. Can I? No, but can Supritas speak? Yes. Okay, guys.
It is the networking break after this, so you can continue to, we can continue this
for like 5
conversation.
minutes. Would that be okay? Can I put you on the spot then?
I think it's fine.
That's okay. I think let's all network now. The session is over. We were all networking.
No, so we can continue.
So
Yeah,
I'll finish in 2 lines. I just got disheartened because Vikram said CBSE school, and we have preschool to 12th. We have SEVA program, which is integrated with EVS, sciences, social sciences, and what content they are doing, we are building that through skills. Every class is doing a SEVA program, which they carry next year and they carry next year. So a complete plan is made to work with the NGOs and how the kids are looking at different aspects according to their age. And I'm done. Thank you.
I'm just quickly going to take
Yeah.
when you're ready, and if you want to anonymize it a little bit, put it into a one-pager,
Yeah.
share it with us. If you're okay with
100%.
other people copying,
Yeah.
because the more they copy, the better it gets, guys.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Some of our style
Yeah.
and fashion statements are also copied. Some of the great music in Bollywood is also copied. Okay, so 1 second, I want to just answer Vikram's statement. Vikram, for the last 4 or 5 years, I've been working on something. And you've known me well enough to know that I just wanted to get to a point where I'm happy to talk about it. The idea is to build it, then replicate it in DPS schools. Yay, DPS. And then take it bigger. What it needs is time, energy, and resources. The energy I have, the resources we can muster, the time is the problem. Yes, sir.
Just a small project that we did with the Sikkim state. The state of Sikkim is rewriting their textbooks to incorporate SDGs.
Wow.
So that's one. It's a small state, tiny there, but you could look at, and they're planning to make it public for other boards to look into.
Yeah, even the other SDG session that Otio
No, it's the
took.
foundation's work, not the university.
So one more submission, since you mentioned about the textbook. The other SDG session that I attended from the chair of SDG. So he, in that session, I think Flames University has also come up with some, some poems, some paragraphs, some stories, all about SDGs. I mean, stories, little stories, right from math to economics to English literature, but the content is based on SDG. So that's one very important thing that you guys can take back with and give it away to teachers to use that in the classrooms.
May I just make one request? You guys, and ma'am, after that, you have feedback forms. What we really like is for you to flip it at the back and give us any topics that you would like the committee to create content on. What is it that you'd like? So thank you for saying, yeah, it was not too bad. These guys did okay, and that's fine, etc., etc. But at the back, flip it and just write down anything that you'd like us to cover and online.
Yeah, I mean, that was just comments on how they can get involved. But also, we have the Sustainable Development Committee Facebook page. I think it would be great if you guys join, and we'll share the link. But please join and share all these stories there, because that's a Okay.
So I just want to share another thing which we all can start as the minute you go back home, you start composting at home and teach it to the children. Our children have been teaching it to their parents, and then they're going out in the community, we're converting the vendors, shopkeepers, the societies around, and trying to bring about change.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I would like to answer Mr. Vikram's question. As we are a CBSE school, sir, we are into art integration at all the levels.
Plus, ours is a underprivileged school, so we have tried cost reduction as in wherever it is possible. For transportation, we have not opted for private buses. We have transport by ST buses, like from the local transport. Cost reduction is seen at, like, we reuse the book for maximum of 3 years. We are collaborated with Cambridge University, so the books can be reused. And plus, we have a special club during Ganesh festival where our children are making eco-friendly Ganpatis, and we see to it that they use at their places as well, and they distribute in others, like in their neighbors. So we are happy, and the parents are even happy to use, as the children have made the idols. So they are very happy to use the same.
Great, thank
you.
you so much. So, Vikram, I think all the schools are starting small, taking little steps. These are small schools, we are all small schools taking small steps for a bigger goal. So Namita says these are big steps, and I'm sure Ambika will come up with a bigger plan. Thank you so much, everyone.